Hey all, Heretic today. We're here with Season 11 announcements for Demons, Mechs, and Naga. All the minions that are leaving, changing, returning, and new. And there's just so many changes, some exciting new stuff. Let's not even wait. Let's just jump right into it. We're gonna start this announcement with the demon changes. We're gonna cover everything demonic. So if you love your demons, get ready. We have to start with the friends we're losing. Let us wave goodbye. Some of these have been here since the beginning of demonkind. So with that being said, here's the list. We're losing Wrathweaver, which feels like, wow, talking about a staple of demons, even if not used much anymore. Soul Rewinder, which, hey, I'm always sick of damage prevention. It's like, let's just not do that, because then if you can't find the Rewinder, you're hurting yourself constantly and it sucks. So Rewinder's gone. Floating Watcher's gone. Hey, self-damage, have you noticed yet? Not complaining. Keyboard Igniter's gone. This one drove me crazy because I would always get this damn card when I had no way to utilize it. So it would randomly generate from something else. Be like, well, if I play it, I'm gonna die. Maybe it takes me under damage cap. Whatever the reason is, I don't want to play it if I'm not playing demons. So thank you for getting rid of this one. Bounding Fellstalker. I didn't hate this one, just if anything to use has a refresh to the shop, just maybe not buy the spell that cost health, but gone. Imposing Percussionist. Now, if you are playing demons and you had damage prevention, this one felt really good to have to produce a lot of demons, especially with a brand, right? Not anymore. Tardy Traveler, gone. I adored this thing. Doesn't matter what I'm playing. If I see a 5-6 cost spell in the shop, buy a Tardy Traveler, sell it. There you go. Cost me 2 gold to get a copy of that spell, and I could still buy the spell theoretically if I wanted to. Not any longer. Malchezaar, the Prince of Dance, is gone. No longer will you be able to roll forever playing demons. You now have to actually spend gold and not just gain health on all your soul rewinders. Sorry, Malchezaar. Don't worry. Now you don't have to dance in the Battlegrounds. You can dance wherever you want. Ashen Corruptor, gone once again. Damage prevention, who cares? Baddie Terror Guard is gone. Baddie Terror Guard. That means you're not going to be able to eat the shop with quite the enthusiasm you used to. I really enjoy playing Baddie Terror Guard, but at the same time, it does get too big, right? It is clearly we're buffing the shop too much and then eating too much of it. So let's let you buff the shop. Maybe just eat the shop in another manner, just not this really repeatable, dependable way. Dream Inquisitor's gone, and it did work on a couple boards, but really we didn't use this one so much. There's a lot of things fighting for that end of game board, and this usually wasn't one that stayed there. Two-Face Doomguard, gone. Oh wait, I don't play duos, so I never really ran into this one. I don't even know if it was good, but I can't think of any time I've seen it, so who knows. Mecha Jiraxis, gone. Now, Mecha, okay, maybe good, maybe not. At least if it was a bad triple, it was gold. If you had a brand, it was gold positive, so that felt nice. But never again for now, because you know Mecha will be back. He's left many times before, and every other time, he has returned to plague us. Overall, an interesting selection of demons have left this time around. Obviously, the self-damage stuff I can live without, but at the same time, it is a very big shift from what demons were. Let's go take a look at some of the other changes. And now a quick stop to see what demons are returning to us. First, we're gonna have Icky Imp. Tier 1, 1/1, Death Rattle Summon 2 1/1 Imps is back. A slight change from last time. Now when you golden it, it will summon 4 1/1 demons. That's all, little imps. I don't have any art for the gold cards in a lot of cases for this, so I'm gonna post what I have, but I haven't been given everything, so we work with what we got. Then at tier 5, we have Insatiable Urzul. This 4/6 demon is taunt after you play a demon. Consume a minion in the tavern to gain its stats. If anyone remembers this thing, it could be a problem because you could buff it to the moon. Obviously, if you buff the shop, cycle some demons, you're gonna be able to buff this thing up quite a bit. And yeah, this is a pretty normal thing we will see. It'll be back. We'll see it all the time. People are going to be looking for their tricky trousers to remove taunt from this thing and then destroy lobbies with a giant Insatiable Urzul. Now we have some returning and changed demons. Yeah, you got it. There's categories now. Piggyback Imp is coming back. This is a tier 2 4/1 Death Rattle summon, a 4/1 imp. It has changed a hair in so much that when it's golden, it will now summon 2 4/1 imps. So yeah, we have lots of summons going on. That seems weird. Why are demons suddenly summoning so much during the combat? What's going on? Why this change? And oh, Soul Juggler is back. And this tier 3 3/5 is whenever a demon dies, deal 4 damage to an enemy minion with the highest health. Now, I don't have the actual art for Soul Juggler, but on the notes I have, it says it's a demon, and it always has been neutral. If it is in fact a demon, that is a big change because it will interact with a lot of other things we have. If it's a neutral, that is only in when demons are in, it will be, I feel, a little better considering some of these interactions. But if it is a demon, like it says at least on the notes I have here, is gonna be very disgusting. It's a sniper that only targets the biggest minion. Now, sometimes that won't be bad, right? Say you're fighting another demon player and they have a giant insatiable or Urzul, 4 damage, pew pew pew, who cares, right? Okay, yeah, he's a 600. That's cute, you're doing 4 damage to him. What if you're a beast board and it snipes your Titus early? What if you're playing any kind of build where you've got this tricky board that's typically low health and then scales up quickly? This will shut you down quickly until you can buff it, and you better start buffing it fast. This one used to just hit random targets, but now it's specifically going to target the highest health minion, which makes it both less useful against certain opponents and utterly countering other targets. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays up overall in the meta, but Soul Juggler is looking to be a threat again. Now, demons that are changing, that are in the game now, but are gonna be in next season. We have Shadow Dancer. Used to be tier 5, 5/2, get a Staff of Enrichment for a Death Rattle. Now going to be tier 4, 4/2, taunt Death Rattle, get a Staff of Enrichment. So yeah, you can get early. It's going to be more effective. So we're going to be dealing with a lot more Shadow Dancing again. And I always felt this minion has been a little bit of a problem, but we'll see. Maybe this time around with all the changes, it won't be as impactful as it has been recently. Only time will tell. All right, let's talk new demons. Let's get into them. Let's see what they've got. We're going to start at tier 2. This 1/6 demon is the Stray Satyr, and that is going to be after a friendly demon deals damage, gain +1 attack, and it has a lot of health. Yes, it's a demon, so when it deals damage, it will then gain attack, but it is a combat buff, so it's going to scale not great. I'm not sure how much I like this one in particular, but that being said, it still has 6 health. That's a lot of health on tier 2, and demons are pretty good at buffing, so we'll see. But it doesn't look like the most exciting start for demons. Luckily, there's a lot better ones coming up that might interact with this in ways you like. Next up at tier 3, we have the Improviser. This 2/6 demon is Avenge 3. Minions in the tavern have +1/+1 next turn. Now, not great, but it's a tier 3 minion. It shouldn't be game defining, right? The idea that it could buff the shop, say 1, 2, maybe 3 after a really good combat is nice, but not insane, and feels about right for a tier 3 minion. Because if you have a really good turn, say 8, as you're going into 5, maybe you're already at 5, you've buffed the shop 3 times, now you can cut minions like this and actually have something reasonably buffed. And it's going to buff anything, so you can pivot out. You can have this in a non-demon board, have a bunch of undead or beast, buff up the shop and pivot into something else, or say you froze a triple, something good, and you want stats on it, you can utilize this to buff it and then do something else. Has some potential. It's not insane. It's just a good tier 3 minion. Next, we have the Void Earl. And this is a tier 3 6/2 demon, taunt Death Rattle, summon 2 1/3 demons with taunt. And folks, just to give you an idea of this, there's a version of this card essentially that used to be tier 5. I think at one point it was tier 6 way back when launched for demons. And yeah, how the mighty have fallen. Now a tier 3 6/2. It's a wildly different stat line. Same idea though as the original Void Lord. That being said, this is very different and not horrible for tier 3, especially if you're going to be running a Soul Juggler comp. So definitely can fit your board. in that early game. It's got decent attack. It gives you summons for your jugglers. I like it. Next on tier 4, we have the Devout Hellcaller. This 2/2 demon is after another friendly demon deals damage, gain +1/+1 permanently. Now, if you get this early enough and you have a lot of summons, it's not kill, it's not die, it's just deal damage. This gains +1/+1 permanently means you could start scaling these up pretty high pretty fast. If you get 2 of these early with a bunch of these summons, you really can get a massive bump of tempo with these things. Will it be good? Well, it depends when you find it. Early, very playable. Late, ooh, complete trash. The earlier you find this, the better, and this has some potential in those early boards. But late, it's not going to scale super fast, it's not going to do much, but it will carry you into that end game. Pretty good stat-wise, where you might decide to keep it, and you also probably will cut it for something better, unless just big enough where it's worth keeping. At tier 5, next on tier 5, we have the Cupcake Peddler. This 2/8 Avenge 4, get corrupted cupcakes. Now, corrupted cupcakes is the tavern spell that has a target demon eat 4 minions in the shop. Is it good potentially? Yes. Is Avenge 4 too high at tier 5 for you to want this on your board? I hope so. I hope you can find better than this because it does work. It doesn't feel good either. I mean, yeah, if you have enough summons, you get cupcakes, but if you've got a lot of summons, you're probably not buffing the shop much. So I'm not really sure where this one's supposed to fit, because if you're also playing a bigger, stompier demon board for meeting the shop, right? How are you getting Avenge 4 consistently to get any real value out of it? I don't know. This one's going to be some weird edge case boards where you really can make it work. But typically, I feel like people are going to try to force this and it's not going to do anything. I think this one's going to be a dud, but I'll be honest with you. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of play out of this, but I could be wrong. We'll have to get games, obviously, to find out. And on the flip side, we have the Silent Enforcer. This 7/2 demon has taunt, death rattle, deal 4 damage to all non-demon minions. All right, first of all, I love the art. I just think this looks badass. I'm cool with this. This is good. But wow, 4 damage to all non-demons. So neutrals, they'll get blown up. But everything that's demonic will be fine. Obviously, if you're in a demon final top 2, this isn't going to help you at all because it's not going to do any damage to anything. So it's just a waste. Cut that at that point. But otherwise, this has some fun potential. Someone running a death rattle board, they've got a lot of triggers that need to happen in a very specific order. Blow it up. Why not? It doesn't hurt your guys. Yes, if you play Titus, it will trigger and then he will die, but you'll also blow up more of them. So theoretically, this could be an incredibly good tech card. This one has a lot of potential. Unlike Cupcake Peddler, which means you need a really weird board to make it work, Silent Enforcer is something you take specifically to shut someone the hell down. And I think the Silent Enforcer is going to do a good job. And while he might be quiet, your opponents might be crying really loudly whenever he's around. Stepping up to tier 6, we've got a duos minions for you. Dark Dazzler, 4/7 demon. After your teammate sells a minion, gain its stats once per turn. I don't hate this or love this. Now, I'm sure in duos we'll be able to make crazy, stupid things, because that's duos in a nutshell, right? But once per turn does not feel great. Yeah, it's gold, I can do it twice, and that's okay if you're selling your largest, craziest minion. You somehow have a 12,000 on your teammate's side, and you've got 2 of these or a gold one. I mean, just there's ways you can really get a lot of stats out of it, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it unless, on the flip side, you have a way to copy then your teammate's minion. Because if you have a way to sell a 12,000, which then gives your teammate Dazzler the 12,000, and then you have another card you could play that says copy that, because there are stupid things in duos like that, then there is going to be some use case for it. In normal Battlegrounds, obviously, it doesn't exist. It's useless. Honestly, I just not super impressed with this one, but it's duos, so I don't understand all the subtle nuances and power that you duo players will beat me over the head with in the comments. Let me know just what you can envision taking place with this. Finally, to finish off demons, we have the Lord of the Ruins. This tier 6 5/5 is after a friendly demon deals damage, give friendly minions other than it +2/+2. There's a lot of reasons why this is good and has lots of potential. First of all, it's a friendly demon deals damage. give friendly minions other than it. So you can buff anything. If you're running a neutral like a Titus, Drakari, it's going to buff that minion because it's buffing everything but the minion it looks like that deals that damage. So that being said, you're going to be throwing a lot of buffs around your board, and you really can get quite big quite fast. You can even play Menagerie to an extent. I don't know how much value there's going to be there, but if you get a lot of summons out of one minion and you take this, you could buff the rest of your board a decent bit. Will it be enough to put it on the board? Let's get some games. I'm sure there'll be crazy combos to make this viable. But that being said, this one does have some nice potential and does fit in nicely. Obviously, they've ratcheted the power level down a little bit here with demons, but I feel like that's going to be intentional across the board. We'll see how it plays out. But the Lord of the Ruins, are you interested? Are you excited? Are you ready to pop them on the board? That's demons in a nutshell. That's all we've got. It's time for us to jump into the next tribe. All right, it's time to talk Naga. Let's get into them. Let's see what we can do. We're going to start with the Naga that are going to be leaving. We're going to miss some of these, I think, but let's see what you think. First on the chopping block, Thaumaturgus, gone. I enjoyed this card. I'm going to miss it. Warden of the Old. I always kind of enjoyed this one too. Gone. Weary Mage, yeah, good cycle card. Never really was excited to have it on my board. Slumber Sorcerer, not bad, but once again, not crazy, so I'm okay with this one departing. Showy Cyclist was fun. Get a Titus, get some stats on the rest of your board. Also, good card, gonna miss that. Darkcrest Strategist, I liked this one a lot. You triple into this thing early. If anything, just because it would help fill up your board with minions, because usually when you're tripling early, you need to fill the board. This was a great card for that. I am going to miss that one quite a bit. And finally, Groundbreaker, the cornerstone of Naga. What we have been playing with Naga now for a little while and has been fun to play with, I feel, as I like APM cycle style builds, is gone. Now, mind you, when you find this really late, it is utterly useless. So maybe that's not so bad. But that being said, I did enjoy the play style at least. I felt like it was an interesting thing, but we're going back to something different. All right, let's talk about the Naga that are coming back. First, we have the tier 2 1/1 Reef Riffer. Spellcraft, give a minion stats equal to your tier until next turn. I always enjoyed Reef Riffer. Nothing wrong with it. It's one of those minions that as you tier, the spell gets better. It's not insane, just a good early card. Feels like it belongs on tier 2. Works. Volcanic Visitor from tier 3. This 3/3 Naga. Spellcraft, choose one. Give your minions +2 attack until next turn, or +2 health until next turn. Never really loved this card. Early, it's good, obviously, but through the mid part of the game, it quickly falls off in value. Feels like a tier 3 card should feel, which means not very good after a pretty short amount of time. Now we have to talk about Naga that are back and changing a little bit. We just have one, the Deep Blue Crooner. Now, because I don't have new art for it, is going to be tier 4 2/2 Spellcraft. Give a minion +2/+2 until next turn. Improve your future deep blues. This should be, so it goes from a 2/2, the next time you cast it, it's a 4/4, then a 6/6. So the earlier you get this, the better. The more you could cast this, the better. Get as many copies as you can, and it starts to get out of control the later in the game it goes. The more you can cast this thing, the better it gets. And Deep Blue was a problem in the past because you could cast it a lot. And you could also just cast it on anything. You could pick it up after you've cast it 50 times on a random cleave minion, and all of a sudden, it's a monster. So really, it's a use case scenario thing. This one's a good spell that you like to keep around and buff up as much as possible. But if you find it later, it's utterly useless, so we'll see how it plays out. But Deep Blue was a favorite build of a lot of Naga players, so I'm sure we'll be seeing more of those. Now for the Naga that are in the game right now, that are going to be here next season, but changing. Coilscar Sapper. It's going to be exactly the same, except now it has Taunt. Now, I've always felt this card was a little too good because Reborn is in the game, but now we're losing Reborn from Naga, so maybe not as bad. Because if it had Taunt built into it and you could put it on the end of your board and it would Reborn with Taunt, that would be too much. But I feel like this with Taunt feels pretty good, and now I'm kind of actually completely fine with it. We'll see how the games go, but I think I like this change. Daggerspine Thrasher now is going to be a tier 4 3/5. Same ability of when you cast a spell, gain Divine Shield, Wind Fury, or Venomous until next turn. It's just a lower tier minion, has a little less stats, still has the same abilities, so I feel like this is a good fit. My only issue with this now is it's easier for everyone to get Scam, but you do have to cast 3 spells once you get it too, So unless you're playing Naga, that's hard to pull off typically. We'll see, but it sounds like a pretty good change actually for at least Naga boards. Corrupted Myrmidon definitely getting a nerf here. Going to tier 5, gonna now be a 3/3. Start of combat, double this minion stats. I love this minion. I'm sad to see it on 5 because there's so less of them. If you triple into it, it's not gonna feel good unless you already have a way to buff it. So I'm not happy with this change for Myrmidon. Tranquil Meditative got a change, now is tier 5, 3/9. Spellcraft your tavern spells that give stats, grant an extra +2 health this game. So now they're at tier 5. You're gonna be generating a lot less of this spellcraft. I don't know if I love this change particularly. The +2 health, of course, is nice because it's a permanent buff, but putting this at 5 is another one of those minions I do not want to triple into. So I'm not sure how I feel about this, as it feels like a very negative change because yeah, this is a horrible triple card, I feel like. Fauna Whisperer got hit with a pretty bad nerf for what it is. Once again, this might be all in line with the new power levels they're going for, but now tier 6, 3/8, at the end of your turn, cast Natural Blessing on the minion to the left of this. Always felt like a bad triple, and it's back to feeling like a bad triple again. Mind you, when it's golden, it'll cast the spell on both sides of it, but that means you had to get 3 of them, which I usually can think of a lot other tier 6 minions I'd rather find than this. And if you rolled me into a tier 6 shop and there was 3 of them in the shop, I would still be hard pressed to even think I still want to buy this, depending when in the game it is. Of course, you know, this is an early situation. Maybe it's good, but doesn't feel exciting, that's for sure. Definitely not the thing I was hoping to see a change for the tier 6 Naga. All right, here we are. We're at the new Naga. Let's see what we've got. We first got to start with the Greedy Snake Tongue, tier 3, 3/6 rally. Get a gold coin. So every time it attacks, you're going to get a gold coin. Obviously, you're not going to attack more than once. Typically, you'll have the lucky games where you triple this super early. Hell, maybe you're playing Reno and you triple into this somehow, or you go 3-on-3 and this is the first thing offered to you. And maybe you just golden this. Like immediately make a 6/12 out of this thing and have it start swinging, because you're going to get 2, maybe 3 swings in the early game from this thing. That's a lot of money you're producing. That might be a very valid play. We'll see. I like this card a lot. I feel like this has a lot of potential for Naga boards, at least for the mid game, for a lot of money potentially. Stepping up to tier 4, we have the Rhyme Scale Priestess 3/3 Naga Spellcraft. Get a random tavern spell that gives stats. I like that it specifically says give stats. You're not getting economy out of this. Random minions, you know, you take this, you're getting stats. So if you've buffed your spells a lot, why not? This is a good mid-range minion. Do I want this on my board late game? Maybe if it's gold and the rest of my board supports it. Maybe, probably not, but we haven't played the new Naga, so maybe it'll be great. If anything, it's a good card to have on your board for a turn, no matter what you're playing, just because it's giving you stats. At tier 5, we have the Sundered Matriarch. This 6/3 is whenever you cast a spell, give your minions +2 health. Well, it specifically says spell, not tavern spell. So that means all of your spellcraft spells, all of your tavern spells, hell, blood gems, whatever you're casting, this thing is going to give all your minions +2 health. And it has an early triple. I feel like this has some potential. Hell, triple a Greedy Snake Tongue into a Sundered Matriarch, and you've at least got health to carry you to the end of the game. I do like this one. It has some neat potential, at least early. Late, you don't usually want this, but we'll play some games. Finally, at tier 6, we have the Wrath Scale Rogue. This 3/6 Naga is after another friendly Naga gains health, give it that much attack. Wait a minute. Did the Sundered Matriarch buff my whole board with health? Does that mean my Wraith Scale Rogue is also gaining health and then attack from all the other Naga? It doesn't have Divine Shield. It doesn't have a lot of things, but oh wait, we're Naga. We can give it things like that. This might have some potential. Will it be insane? We'll see. Will it be good? At least early it will. We'll see about long term. I don't know how I feel about these changes. Once again, this is the new Battlegrounds. We're trying to bring the power scale down. We kind of do this every season and it works to one degree or another. What do you think about Naga? How do you feel about the potential? I'll say this about it. I do like the synergistic nature of it all. Regardless of how it actually works, conceptually, I think I like where they're going with Naga this season. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm excited to hear what you think about these changes. I think it's time we have to look at one more tribe. Just one more for now. Let's go check it out. Folks, I just want to say thank you for watching these. I hope you are learning things. I hope you're excited about these announcements. If they're helping you get ready for the new season, if they're building hype in your mind, do me a favor. I know it's a big ask, but like, subscribe, comment. The more people we get on this snowball, the bigger we get, the more likely I am to one day make actual, just have fun. I want to have fun, and the more people watching this, the more interactions we get, the more fun we get to have, the more we get to do. So please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. If this is helping you, if this is enjoyable for you, thank you very much. It's time to talk mechs. We have to talk about all things mechs, all the different mechanical changes, and I'm pretty happy with most of these. So let's start with the mechs that are leaving. First mech gone is Lullabot. You know, that mech you take on turn 1, that, you know, on turn 3, you're sitting there and you're like, well, there's a second one. Sure. Then turn 10, when you die, you still got 2 Lullabots on the board, and you never tripled them. That magnetic. I'm not complaining about Lullabot being gone. It's not a great magnetic. It's cute. That's about it. Metallic Hunter, gone. I did like this for generating spells in the early game, but otherwise not a huge deal. No complaints. Ancestral Automaton. I am so gonna miss you. Haha, no. Goodbye, never come back again. Whoever designed you, please don't make any more minions if you're gonna make things like this. Stop. Okay, let's consider this a test run. You did a really good job. A for effort on originality and something different, but it wasn't fun to play against. I don't mind losing to certain things, but I like looking at a mediocre board, and then as it dies, it just poops out a million more automatons that get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it really only works with like 3 heroes in the game. Yes, I'm looking at you, Terran, Lich King, and Akazamarak. And anybody else who it works for, you just high rolled into it. I don't like this build. It's a me thing. I get it. You did a good job. It's a great design. A lot of people love it. Personally, I hate this thing. Springy Springigan, gone. Not exactly an exciting magnetic. I'm fine with that being gone. Arcanatron activated, gone. Once again, don't really care. That's fine. Auto Assembler, gone. Oh wait, more automaton things gone? Bye, goodbye, have fun, bye. Marquee Ticker, gone. This one's a little weird. Has a triple into a 4. I loved it and hated it because it's a 1/5, which is really bad stat-wise, right? But then the random spell every turn could either be the most amazing broken thing or utterly useless. So it was always one of those triples that I took a long, hard look at and said, how long can I milk this? Does my hero power help it? Do I have anything that synergizes with it? Because if not, it depends what else I'm offered. Kangor's Apprentice. I like this minion. I like the idea of it. Unfortunately for it, it always enables automatons. So goodbye, Kangors. Don't come back. We're burying you in the same hole as the automaton. We're going to build a building on it. We're going to salt the earth. We're going to nuke it. We're going to do whatever we have to. You know what? Let's just launch it into the sun. We're actually going to put all of the automatons in it and launch them straight into the sun. We'll tell the Kangors that it can come back, but it's a one-way trip. We're sorry. We didn't put enough fuel in there. Dr. Booms, monster, gone. And I kind of like this one. I like the, oh, you stacked a million magnetics, so now your Booms is cool. I like that, but it's okay. Mechajiraxis, we already know, but gone. You know, it's more magnetics. It's more fun. I am going to miss this one. It's definitely not as key, I feel, for mechs as it was for demons, but there were some useful ones for magnetics, for mechs also, so Electron powered up, gone. Now, is this good if you found it early? If you had a Jakari, if you had a few mechs, yes. Is it your first triple and you have no mechs and there's no mechs in the shop and your hero power doesn't synergize? Good luck. Is it you have a whole mech board, you have a Jakari already, and you hit this thing? GG, have fun. It really was a sink or swim minion, which is most tier 6s, I get that. But you were either really happy or really depressed when you saw this minion. And now you'll never see it again. So at least you have the memories of when you were excited to see it. Let's talk about the mechs that are returning. First, we have the Annoyatron is back. It's annoying. It did its job. It's annoying. That's it. Tier 3 Replicating Menace. This 3/2 magnetic death rattle summon 3 microbots. A great way to get resets for your Deflecto and whatnot is back. I did like this one. It was a problem with Reborn, but we don't have to worry about that anymore with in most part. So Replicating Menace is back. That feels good. Polarizing Beatboxer at tier 6. This 510 was whenever you magnetize another minion, it also magnetized to this. Is at times incredibly stupid and strong. I'm not sure how I feel about this return. So if you haven't seen this before, easiest way to play this is cast a huge buff on something in the shop. And then when you attach a magnetic to a minion other than this, it also gains everything. Divine Shield, all the stats, whatever it gained on that other minion, Polarizing Beatboxer also gained. So it was kind of silly. It's probably still going to be silly, but you know, it's one of those things where you also maybe don't find enough magnetics to get value from it. We'll see. It was a fun way to play mech, so I'm not going to complain, but it definitely sucked when your opponent found a bunch of these and you maybe had one, but we'll see. It still should be fun. Utility Drone is back, and now, yes, it's a wildly different tier from the stats you're seeing. It's going to be tier 4, 4/5 at the end of your turn. Give your minions +1/+1 for each magnetization they have. Once again, good if you find it early, good if you have a few magnetizations. Yes, you can use this with a Chikari, really buff up your board. Your Beatboxers will love this, so Utility Drone's back. And at tier 4, it's not so bad. It's pretty easy to find enough of these, so have fun. All right, we're on to the new ones. We're here for the new mechs that we get to play with. We're going to start with tier 2. We've got the Mooncatcher. This 1/1 mech is Divine Shield Reborn. So it's a 1/1 that comes back as a 1/1, but it has Divine Shield. Is it good? Doesn't really feel like tier 2 compared to what tier 2 has turned into lately. It kind of feels like a tier 1. And I'm not sure I want to buy this ever, but there will be builds where it works. There will be times we like this. We'll see. I'll reserve judgment, but initially it does not feel great. Geared Guard is a tier 2 2/4 mech. Rally, give a different friendly minion Divine Shield. So whenever this attacks, it's going to give a random minion on your board other than itself Divine Shield. And it's a rally mechanic, so it's got a swing for it, but it's not mech specific. It can target anything. So early game, not bad at all. Exciting? No. Decent stats and a good ability? Yes. So worth it. Ruins Renovator is a 5/1 mech. Divine Shield, Death Rattle, summon a random Divine Shield minion. And yeah, I don't think this is bad at all as a tempo piece. You're never going to buy this and keep it on the board late game typically. I mean, I haven't thought about the builds too much we're going to put together yet, but at least initially this doesn't seem insane. That being said, it's not a bad ability. It's got a nice stat line for what it does, even if at tier 4, 5/1 seems weird because recently we've had 5/1s on tier 2. But that being said, it's going to give you another Divine Shield minion when it dies, so it has some real potential. This one could be fun and it could be a mainstay on boards, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of things competing for those late game spots, but at least through the early mid game, solid minion. Tier 5, 8/6, the Whirling Protector is a magnetic. Rally, give your other minions +5 attack. And if you could put this on something with Wind Fury, say Divine Shield, put it in that number 1 slot, that means it's going to be 10 attack after it's done swinging to all your other minions. And that's really good. And heaven forbid you golden it or you stack, say, I don't know, 3, 5, 10 of these on a minion. That's a lot of attack to your Divine Shield boards. I think this one has some real potential to be utterly broken and might get nerfed down. We'll see. It's tier 5, so how many are you actually going to find? That's the question. If you can generate enough of them, they're disgusting. If you only generate 2 or 3, that's fine. That's not really a problem. It's when you start hitting 5+, I think it's going to get truly bonkers. But that being said, like I said, if you put it on a Wind Fury minion, it's really good. We'll see how it plays out, but there's a lot of potential with this particular minion. Finally, we have a tier 6 mech that I'll wait to give you my judgment. The Gleaming Trader is a 3/6, so stat line, Divine Shield. After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, your other minions have +2 attack for the rest of this combat. So it's an in-combat buff, it's temporary, normal, but it's +2 attack. And yeah, you have lots of ways to reset shields, and yeah, you have lots of ways to gain that attack, so it will pile up. But is it going to be enough? So you can have this one tier 6 minion. Let's say Your entire board has Divine Shield. That gets to what, like plus 14 attack, plus resets? So yes, you could have that. Or you could take anything else and put Whirling Protectors on it that have Wind Fury and bury this thing. So I'm not sure if I ever am excited about Gleaming Trader. That being said, well, obviously I haven't played any games. Maybe we can make some crazy plus attack boards where this will work perfectly. But I feel like there's already so many other things that do what this does that I'm not sure how excited I am about this one. We'll see. So that's it. That's Mechs. What do you think? Are you excited about where Mechs are going? Are you a little lackluster? Don't let the very last minion completely, cloud your judgment on it. Yes, it doesn't seem exciting to me. It seems really bad. But the Whirling Protector is also really exciting. I almost feel like you could go, whoop, leave their stats exactly the same, put Gleaming Trader on tier 5, put Whirling Protector on tier 6, and it makes more sense. I don't know if that's right, but it certainly feels more exciting. I mean, hell, I almost feel like you could take Gleaming Trader, throw it to tier 4, put Runes Renovator on tier 5, and move the Whirling Protector to 6, and it feels better. I don't really quite get those, but I also haven't tested any games. Maybe in their testing, they found out it didn't work. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play some games, and we'll find out really fast. All right, folks, that's it. That is the final announcements I have from this batch. We have all the demons, all the Nagas, all the Mechs. What do you think? I want to know in the comments below, what are you most excited about? What are you most disappointed about? And do you think that any of these tribes really stands out as a powerhouse potential? What have I missed? I'm sure that in the short time I've had to read these and go over everything, remember, I'm trying to absorb all the tribes at once. You're watching this video and you're going, well, this is the best. I'm looking at everything. I have so much information that I don't have time to analyze it enough. And I'm sure you're watching this video and your brain is nice and relaxed and you're excited. You're only absorbing one at a time, not getting the other things in the way, going, okay, this is good, this is good. What, is he crazy? I've got information overload over here. Tell me what you think, because I really want to know. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a few things. See you in the Battlegrounds. Later.